Today we bring you something special, the child at the end of time. Everyone, sorry, not burning time. I actually confused it with the Slipknot song, The Child of Burning Time from their album, All Hope Is Gone. I think it's the deluxe version, so really sorry about that. Started the review like that. So this book is by my dear friend. We've been Facebook friends since I interviewed Chad on the website. I think it was back in 2017, and I also reviewed an advanced copy of his awesome short story collection, Two Girls and All. And at that same time, I was reading Bazaar of Bad Dreams by Stephen King. So I also compared his writing to Stephen King, and I found out he's such a massive Stephen King fan that he has also come out with the non-fiction book, which has been highly praised in the indie horror community, called Tracing the Trails, which is like a major fan's reflection on his works, essay writing and on such, and maybe it will be my next buy from him. I'm definitely buying more books from him. More books written by him. Child at the End of Time was brilliant. The funniest thing was that I actually talked to him on Facebook because I haven't read his work since 2017. Besides his reviews published on, I think, Ginger Nuts of Horror. And so what happened was basically that I asked which book should I buy. So first I asked for Tracing the Trails. But the thing is, I'm not a massive, what do you say, a massive fan of Stephen King. Basically, I read his short fiction and I love it. Bazaar Bad Dreams was awesome, and I love his movie adaptations, even though I've not seen the originals like Gerard's Game, 1922, in the Tall Grass. These are the Netflix ones, but also other ones. So what happened was, like, basically I said he recommended me that it's better, Child at End of Time is better because it's different. It's because he knows my interest, because he throughout this year has recommended me so many excellent books, especially introducing me to the work of John Grisham, for which I'm eternally grateful. And Chad, he's a really humble guy, and we're like far away from each other. He's in America, I'm in Pakistan right now, and so it was like basically it's always an awesome conversation with him, whether it be on books, movies, and we are also commenting on each other's reviews. Like, he reviewed The Stand. I have yet to watch The Stand, but he said, like, for the modern audience, like for young people, like younger people like me, I'm 27, in their 20s, they might find it appealing, especially if they have not read the book. So the same thing, I actually did try reading Stephen King's It. I did try reading, was it called Dream Catcher, I think? Not sure, but I just borrowed it from my cousin, so I couldn't get into his long verse. Long form of fiction, but the thing is, his short fiction is awesome, and similar with Chad. Like, this novel is like divided into 3 parts: prologue to the basically I'll just read a bit from the. This is like this ebook version, which will be the first link in the description below, is the new edition of the book, which was originally published in 2017. So basically, in early 2017, I'm reading from the prologue, I published a short story titled Through the Slip, which appeared in the anthology Dark Designs, Tales of Mad Science from Shadowwork Publishing. And it would end up serving as a prequel chapter to Child at the End of Time. So basically, yeah, so he came up with the story, the main story, Child at the End of Time, with 2 individuals, I think Danny and Michael, trying to, escape the apocalypse which is happening on Earth, like an alien army invading. And the plot now, which I just said, you maybe have heard 1,000 times, but the way it was done, like, that movie where the screenwriter he has a plot which is, very cliched, very stereotypical, but the way he follows through, like with the tractor and everything, it was just brilliant. So the short story Through the Slip has been added to this book for the first time as an actual prologue. Okay, hopefully readers will enjoy seeing the story like in its entirety. Also, I've written a brand new story, The Void in Between, which is located at the end of this book. It stands completely on its own, but in terms of chronology, it takes place before the events of both Child at the End of Time as well as Through the Slip. So divided into 3 parts: prologue, the main story, the prologue of the prologue. So the prologue of the prologue is brilliant. I'm actually going to just rate it now, because the prologue of the prologue I would give like 5 out of 5 stars. It was so brilliant. The prologue, the short story, would be like around 4.5. Sorry, before that, 5 out of 5 stars. I said, yeah, 4.5 out of 5 stars the short story, because I'm not surprised it was published by Shadowwork Publishing, and I might even purchase that collection, which in the story was originally published in. And now the Child at the End of Time, I have some issues with it. It's not the best, so 3.5 out of 5. I will go further into this review, and it will be mostly spoiler free, so that when you buy the book you won't know it. So yeah, it will be just spoiler free. I'll just give my thoughts on things which you can find out by the reading the plot outline on the Amazon link. So the second link will be the paperback version. I'm not sure if it's the new edition, but I think Chad will clear it out, because I'm going to have a discussion slash interview with him. It's so that he's going to be interviewed again on my site, Literary Read, and this time regarding a specific book. Like before that was Two Bells at Dawn, I think, which I praised him for being very, it was very close to Stephen King's short fiction, Bazaar of Bad Dreams. So it's so excellent, and he's so underrated. Like, I really think he deserves more buyers, more people reading his work, and ironically, reading dystopian work in these dire times is a refresher course. Like, that anything can happen. Like, you can expect anything. Like, I never expected COVID to hit, and in this time, they say every 100 years a plague comes, something else, but we are so technology advanced now, medically advanced as well. Pakistan is such a medically advanced country that it's just the vaccine has come, of course, and people are taking a vaccine and everything, but it's just surprising. So basically, yeah, so the prologue, it's brilliant. The short story is brilliant. Like, if I purchased the short story alone, because this was 0.99, and with Kindle Unlimited, this book I'm talking about, the overall new edition, it's free to read. So for 0.99 you and it's a one-day read. Like, literally, I'm a fast reader. It took me many days actually, because of the main job and my other freelancing gigs. But I could have read it in one setting. I'm a very fast reader. So the thing is, people who, so the best thing about we will go overall, the overall aspect of this book, including the prologue, the main story, the prologue of the prologue, is that it's very brilliantly paced. The pacing is the ultimate factor in it. It's brilliant, fast from the, it's just in your face fast. And if I would compare it to another author, because I read thrillers a lot, it's actually my most preferred genre, thrillers. Then would come horror, or then thrillers, mystery, then horror, like that. Suspense, Sidney Sheldon and Conan Arthur Doyle in the second list. But first would be James Patterson. Yeah, he's brilliant, and Patricia Cornwell. Yeah, so James Patterson. Yeah, he also has this fast. I know even Stephen King has talked against him, and many don't like him. And I heard that nowadays his books are like James Patterson with this author, and many of them are 80% written by that guy. But James Patterson has his brand name, and he is actually a very good businessman as well, as a very high net worth. But I'm not against James Patterson, because the books I have read, especially the one starting his main detective, Alex Ross. Yeah. So I really like those books, and I want to read more of them. Maybe I want to read, from start to finish, but I don't get the time. Then I did read this. Oh, I actually forgot to bring that book. It's downstairs. A one shot of him, of another series. So he got these one shots. I think there were 50 to 70 pages. They were long short stories, novellas, but they were one shots, literally one shot, because in one go you can read them. So I really like fast paced stuff. It's similar to my interest in gaming. I love Gears of War. I love Doom. The newer Dooms. I love Battlefront 2. Everything fast paced I love, but anything slow like Battle Royale, like Apex Legends, Fortnite, I don't like that much. So it's same for my taste. In for movies, I would say slow and fast movies both are good for me. The pacing doesn't matter as long as it matches the narrative very well. So here, anyway, we go to the book. So it's not necessary that in books too I go for the fast pace, because John Grisham is very slow paced. Of course, his storytelling is awesome. And again, Sidney Sheldon is I would say my favorite author of all time, because really I miss him. And I would also going on to say that the new author, Bagwell, I think, Patricia Bagwell, Tracy Bagwell, I don't know her name. I read 2 books of hers because my aunt had them, the newer editions. I'm so happy also Sidney someone is continuing it, because Sherlock Holmes also continued it with another author, I forgot his name. But the thing was, she really, I don't know why they gave it to her. I know that Sidney Sheldon was confused for being a woman many times, because he knew the female characters well, but she really ruined the book. Not even, I don't know, it was not even a feminism thing. It was she didn't have that skill. Because Sidney Sheldon is so hard to master. I would say you can continue anyone's book. You can Arthur Conan Doyle and others, the legendary authors, they can be continued. H.G. Wells, etc., or maybe even Oscar Wilde, but that guy Sidney Sheldon, he can't be copied. So in the same vein, we see the pacing. Just with fewer words, because Sidney Sheldon's novels tended to be larger than 200 and something pages. It's 200, around 200 pages. So for the person, because I do like nowadays prefer novellas to novellas and stories. I prefer the shorter versions because of the lack of time I have, and this is why also I chose a video review because I could have written like a 1,000 page, 1,000 word review. But the thing was like, I'm like experimenting with different things as well, and I always wanted to try a book review because I've also seen other people, and you can check my channel for other people, like I've subscribed to the book reviewers, and you can just, because there's so many indie book reviewers who are doing videos now, so you like it's so good that you support them as I do. So okay, getting back to the book, so the prologue basically is about this guy Reynolds finding the scientist, I think, yeah, Bronson. So these two characters, and Bronson and Reynolds are actually the most fun characters. That's why I like them better than the main duo of Danny and Michael, who are the main story, the main guys in the story. So basically, it's a dystopia. It's Chad again. The pacing, if it's the first thing, which is good, great. The second thing is, of course, the the multi-genre approach, because even Two Bells at Dawn, some stories were about, I think, serial killers, some were science fiction, some were horror entirely. So I saw his versatility in that collection itself. So here it shines through, and it's very difficult. And trust me, because I've also self-published a horror short story collection. I've written some novellas as well. Those are on Wattpad, I think. One is Mirror Image, one is Painting a Baumeister, retelling of the picture of Dorian Gray. I'll just attach my Wattpad and Amazon bibliography below, and of course Chad's Amazon bibliography below, so you can read my free work as well. And my work, all my work is on Kindle Unlimited, so you can check that out for free as well. Like so, everything is good. So the thing is that so writing, when you're writing short stories, like Masoom Thrills one, I named it Masoom Thrills number one. So basically, when I was writing it, it was hard to someone asked in the horror writers group on Facebook that I liked the book trailer of the book. Maybe I'll also link that below. But what happened was, like, they said, why is it called thriller? So I said mainly I like thrillers, but I put a horror elements in it. So even I like to experiment a lot with my short stories. I don't like them to be one genre. I don't like them to be contained. And especially, like, I was inspired by Clive Barker so much, so there were so many dark fantasy elements as well, even though I don't like the dark fantasy genre itself unless it's by Clive Barker. So who you read a lot, you end up writing like that. Like, I think there was an Oscar wild quote, like, what you read defines who you are, like something. I'm just making it more modern. So again with Chad, there are many elements of filmmaking throughout, and like H.G. Wells and so many, but Chad has his own style, because he handles multiple genres very well. See, the short story form is where it's easier, but in the long form, which he has done with Child at the End of Time, the main story, he has done it very well. So the second thing is being multi-genre. So that's excellent, and the pacing is very good. And the thing is, also, this is a funny thing. This might be like a more of a double-edged factor. Like, you will see that throughout the book there are some tones of it being young adult, but it's totally an adult version. And this is like justified by the ending story, the void in between. So that's the prologue of the prologue, and there's so much gore, so much dismemberment that I just remember that how good Stephen King is at this, and how good Chad is at it as well. So it's just brilliant that again Chad, very good handling. Of course, you're seeing this review as well of multi-genres. It's very hard to do in the long form. So okay, so what was like not so good about the main story? The thing is, the third factor as well, that dystopia novels, I haven't read many. I have seen dystopia adaptations a lot. The 100, I've seen it all. All the 7 seasons, I think there were 7 or 8, 7 I think. And then I've seen the Maze Runner series. I haven't seen Divergent. I saw the first movie, I didn't like it, didn't watch further. And Hunger Games, of course, I've seen all the movies. So I haven't read any dystopia fiction at all. Throughout my reading career, I'm actually reflecting on this now. But in terms of dystopia, the main story being a bit cliched, you have seen it before, read it before. That is there. It doesn't like redefine the genre that much. It's not a genre redefining book. Like overall, even the new edition, but the thing is, it adds to the genre which is already there. So there's that if you want a dystopia and a multi-genre dystopia, then this book is for you, especially if you like the dystopia genre. And I would say that for people who are, this I will go into the negative now of the book, like I think it will interest more people who are in their 20s than people who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, older readers, because it does have this young adult theme to it, which was more prevalent in the works of, Suzanne Collins and the Maze Runner writer and Divergent writer. So in the terms of their movies, I haven't read the books. So I'm just saying that it will appeal more to young adults as a whole, because young adults can also read this. They are old enough. So yeah, there's a limited audience for this, especially in terms of age. And the other negatives for, again, the cliched plot. Yeah, there is, it doesn't redefine the genre. There's that. But overall, like these things are negated by the excellent pacing and the excellent characters as well. Again, the characters, I would say Bronson was very well developed, and not only is the new cover and some interior artwork courtesy of the talented Patrick Loveland. The cover and the interior illustrations were you look at them, they suddenly appear, and that's very clever. And you get clever editing by Duncan Ralston, who edited it. So you just are you get surprised, and so that's a really awesome element. But again, the thing is that it becomes like what you say, that the story would appeal to more people. It's like sometimes it's science fiction, sometimes it's horror. So some people also don't like that multi-genre approach. They want one thing. But the thing is, I will not criticize on that element as well, because that is one of the best elements of it. That it's going through horror, science fiction, and it's like combined. That's why I'm saying that really handled it well. Like it's going similarly. Just the thing is that some parts are more horror than others. I would say that if we would go for pure science fiction horror, that would be the prequel, which is Through the Slip, the original short story. Then if we're going for more horror, then that would be The Void in Between, like dark horror, dark science fiction. And then the main story is I would say it's not jumbled up at all. It's like going through many things. But the characters are not interesting. I found Bronson and Reynolds more interesting than the main duo, Danny and Michael. So there's that. But overall, the editing is good. There were no typing errors at all, and the pacing, again, the editor helped a lot. The illustrator, bringing those illustrations in life. And again, in the end, also mentioning in the preface to the new edition, he said that the revival was the main inspiration behind it. And who has written revival? Stephen King. So not surprised. In 2014, it's 405 pages. Maybe I'll check it out, because it's at least shorter than his 1,000-page books. So after this, I'm also interested in reading that and reviewing that. So maybe my interest will peak regarding King's long fiction. So Child at the End of Time, get it. It's only $0.99 and free to read on Kindle Unlimited, and it's like an awesome book. And also 2 bells at dawn. I'll just put Chad Clark's bibliography there so that you can look at his fiction. He has also other short story collections. Also Tracing the Trails. So there are many books. I just when you go to the end of the Kindle, you see his other works and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to reading leaving a review on Amazon, Goodreads, and on my website. I'm not sure. The website, there will be an interview and discussion. So I will link the video review there. So that will be an article itself. So I will link it in the description itself. So you can just go through Literary Retreat. We review all kinds of genre, but especially we support indie horror, because that's how the site started, with Mark Matthews and his interview and his short story collection, edited by him but featuring multiple authors, called Garden of Fiends. And for that, Lullabies of Suffering, I will also be doing a written review of it, because I did a written review of Garden of Fiends, so I don't want to do a video review. So so next book, if I'm saying if people ask me which is the next book you'll be doing a video review of, most probably Light of the Jedi, the first novel in the High Republic series by Charles Soule, because Charles Soule, he did the Darth Vader series, and I also have Darth Vader comic book series. I have reviewed the first novel, Oracle Year, which was okay because it was reviewed, but Anyone, his second novel, Anyone, is just so good. It's also being adapted as a series. So I'm mainly not reading it because, of course, I've read so many, all like a lot of the Disney Star Wars novels. I haven't read the Legends ones yet. So I was more excited because it's Charles Soule. Then he's just brilliant. I have actually read 30% of the book on Kindle, but then I wanted to read Charles Soule. So that will be most probably my next review on this YouTube channel, the Sarmasum. So thank you so much for watching. I try to keep it concise as possible, just like my written reviews, and again I look forward to posting the discussion. It will be posted in April, so the link will appear, like I'll make it the first link so that you can see it, and then linking Chad's bibliography below and stuff in the description. So when you see the first link, it will be a literaryretreat.com article, interview and discussion with author Chad Clark. It will be a written Q&A of 5 to 10 questions. So you'll find out more about the process of the book, his writing, his approach to what he wrote in the book, and definitely buy it. Then reading the discussion, either you buy it after seeing this video review or seeing the other awesome reviews of it. It's so awesome. It's the overall rating of the book is 4 out of 5 stars from me. So look forward to that, and please look forward to the discussion as well. And Chad, I hope you like this video review. It's the first time I'm doing a video review of a book, of an ebook, of a book overall. So I hope that of course I'm not biased. Like, even if I knew you and I didn't like the book, I would give it a low rating. So I'm just saying that I hope you like this new format, because of course I was doing text reading before, and you read my reviews regularly as well. So thank you so much, and everyone, goodbye and take care, and stay safe.